This is an after-school program podcast.
What key are we in, G?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Hello?
Hello.
2 o'clock. Let's go. Tell us who you are, PD. We got to get out of here.
My name is PD, and I host this podcast, and I do comedy, and I make sketches. Hi.
Hi, my name is Shama. I also have been hosting this podcast along with PD for a long time. I'm best known for the VeggieTales remix on... all right, we got a guest.
Yeah.
Her name is Lauren. She also happens to be PD's girlfriend. Would you look at that? And, all right, let's do praise reports. Oh, sorry. This is the...
No.
Guys, the podcast went 0 to 100 too fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad this isn't the one I say. I got so scared for a
Really?
second.
Oh man. How bad would it be if we played that?
No, my anxiety levels rose.
Corona's
No.
on the move. Stay away. I almost said hallelujah. Guys, kidding. Welcome to Church Choice Podcast. The podcast that exists because you laugh the hardest when you're not supposed to.
Yeah, we were just rushing through because she has to be at work at 3. It's 2.
It's 2.
And we're 5 minutes away from
It's
QT.
2. Where she works. We are close. This podcast was almost a Vine for a second. That rest in peace. But it's not. PD,
Yeah.
how you doing?
I'm doing well. There's something I mentioned to you earlier.
Yes.
And since Lauren's here, you know, we had Lauren on before, and
We have, several
when
times.
you would ask her to talk about herself, she would just say nothing. But I was at her grandma's house, and they had a lot of interesting stories, and I thought that
I literally knew this was going to happen.
really.
At my birthday party, they just sat around the table, and they were like, okay, here's everything.
It was your birthday? Happy birthday. Belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm an adult now.
Oh, wow.
But we just sat around the table, and everyone was like, okay, think of the most embarrassing story of Lauren ever since PD is here.
I would like you to talk about being a menace in elementary school.
Yeah, apparently you were somewhat of a Mike Tyson
I have a
in
whole
elementary
box.
school.
My mom saved a box of every single bad note of mine.
Wait a second. Hold up a second. Typically, parents normally just save, bad drawings from the fridge that they put up for a couple weeks. Your mom has a box full of referrals or
Yes.
what is it? What is that? Demerits that you got from
they were
school?
just bad notes.
Really?
Yeah.
A whole box.
A whole box.
Not even like an envelope, a box.
a box.
You got to bring this the next time you're on the show.
I don't even know where it's at.
Oh, you got to find it.
Talk about your first day of school.
I punched a boy in the face.
You punched a boy in the face.
Yes.
Kindergarten?
Kindergarten. Yes.
Why?
Okay, so my mom was like,
Get a little closer to the mic.
she picked me up on my first day of school, and the teacher pulled her aside and my mom said she was scared, but teacher was like, Lauren punched a boy in the face today, and he got a nosebleed, and we let him go home early, and I'm just like, he gets to go home early with a nosebleed? That's not fair. But so apparently we went out to the playground, and there was this little toy that I wanted, and I had eyed it right when we got there. So when we got to the playground, I ran to it, but he beat me there. And then I looked to him and I said, get off. And he gave me like a mad face. And so I punched him in the face.
Talk about escalation. I have never punched anyone in the face.
Me neither.
You first
Me
day
neither.
of K5.
First day of K5, you're like, hey, man, listen,
Yeah.
catch these hands,
Like,
dog.
Give me what I want, or I will use force.
No, people never picked on me in school because I was the one who picked on everyone else.
Oh, so I'm
So
dating
you're like
a bully.
You're like a
I was
bully.
the bully.
You were like past tense. Is it behind you?
Now she just bullies me.
Do I need to worry for PD?
Yeah, when they were telling
Wanna be
me
like,
stories.
PD,
I mean, he's still alive. It's been a year. He's still.
Oh.
I gotta start doing homie checks on PD.
Oh, he got a homie check
That's
on
why
a meme page the other day.
Yeah.
yeah, because he wasn't on Instagram enough. Can you believe that?
Mhm.
They're like, hey, dog, you've been having too much of a real life and you haven't been on this fake app.
That's what I said. I was like, hey, I just don't care about being on Instagram as much. And he's like, well, if you want to give me your account. And I was like, hold on. I'll care about it enough to make 1 to 2 posts a day.
What is? Oh man, that's so dumb. Yeah. The I always feel like I apologize. listen, if you're one of my friends, I'm going to say sorry. I don't text back soon enough. I text PD back kind of quickly. We're collaborators, all right? We're always like working on something.
I have been in. Like,
I made a joke to PD that he's dating both of us because it's either because when I'm hanging out with him, you're calling him all the time.
Yeah.
I'm dating New Japan and I'm dating AEW and Shama and you.
God,
right?
There's a song by Florida Georgia Line that goes "God, your mama and me,"
God,
but it goes Lauren, Shama, and Chase. That's what I said.
I've been like in bed next to Grace, and PD will call and I'm like, so I gotta take this, and we won't even say hi. We're at a point in our friendship where we don't say hi or bye. It's, hey dude, did you see that thing from the thing from SNL? He's like, yeah I did. Yeah, whatever. All right, and that's it. All right is all right, cool.
Or like if I'm not busy and you're not busy, it'll be like what people don't understand is that this podcast is just, it's no different than how we talk.
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty
like
much it.
If we are not doing anything and we call each other, it'll go like 40
It'll
minutes.
It'll be a podcast. We've talked on the phone for like 2 hours before. We've written songs before just on the phone together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super excited about some of the stuff that we have coming up
Yeah.
this fall and next year. Lauren, how have you been?
I've been good. I've been working a lot.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it's good.
You're supporting PD's Asian food habit.
Yeah. I ate Chinese food like 5 times last week.
Last week with
Yeah.
PD?
Not with me
not
every
all
time.
the time, but
Yeah, sometimes I'll be working and she'd be like, hey, I'm going to go get Chinese food with your family. I'm like, all right.
You will?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Wait a second. 5 times last week?
Yes.
That's a little excessive.
I'm ashamed,
Dude.
but it's real. It's like all I want right now, and it's his fault.
I know. I was about to say like a little excessive. That was my life for like years.
That was his
Eating
life,
Chinese
now it's
food.
mine.
But you also know it was excessive. Like,
Yeah, I knew it. I owned it, and I said that like I should be part owner of TR's Oriental, and
We were actually talking about we should both get a job there.
yeah.
it was just like the perfect relationship that like with a restaurant that I just come in. They know what I want. They gave me the Wi-Fi password. I just chill.
Yeah.
They barely talk
They
to
don't
me.
do that anymore. It's not
Well,
like
yeah.
we used to walk in. They'd be like, "Too sweet tea."
They don't do that anymore?
No.
Well, 'cause
Oh, it's because you don't eat
Yeah,
there. You have to get it to go.
Yeah.
I've always fantasized about being a regular at a restaurant, but I've never.
It's never been like that for me.
No, and then I thought,
Yeah.
maybe do I need to go to like an old diner where I come in and I take off my overcoat and I hang it and I take off my hat because I also wear a hat.
Yeah.
I'm a regular at a diner and I wear hats frequently and overcoats year round. And I'm like, howdy, Pam. And she's like, how you doing? I'm like, hey, Bertrice or whatever.
Bertrice.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You know the diner waitresses and
Yeah.
they're like, the normal, sweetie, and I'm like, that's right, honey. And then I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast with Tom Segura. Bert went on the road, so he had Bert's wife on. And I, listening to that, there were so many moments in it where I was like me and Lauren have the same relationship as Bert Kreischer and Leanne Kreischer.
He calls us that all the time.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what aspects?
Like, she's, so Leanne had to go to the hospital. Something like she had a concussion or something happened. Like she
fell and hit her face.
Yeah.
How did you know this?
We were listening to the podcast during church.
I was like, I know you don't listen to podcasts.
Yes, but we listened to it during church.
Oh, okay.
You're not supposed to mention that part.
Sorry.
Hold on. Hold up a second.
I'm
Hold up a
sorry. I
second.
don't want to get you in trouble.
Y'all listen to this podcast during church?
Yes.
Okay, Carrie.
Yeah.
PD's dad has always talked about how like he's threatened like I don't know. He's like, I don't know how you guys still do the show. PD doesn't really go to church.
And the podcast is occasionally,
Church Stories.
if we're bored, we pop in Two Bears, One
This
Cave.
is a church story.
At church, listening to my other church.
Yeah, I mean, the dude preaches about tithing a lot, so it's like he's kind of asking for us to
Yeah.
put in
He's
the
only been a
earbuds.
he's only been a pastor for like 2-3 years, and his first whole year was just about people not tithing.
This dude was like, I'm trying to get a raise, y'all. I'm trying to get come on, guys, give unto the Lord.
Yeah,
And mind of the Lord,
I mean, when you
unto
have
me.
12 kids, you kind of have.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Bert,
very funny.
Bert called one of her friends and was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do without her. I'm gonna move in with you. And I was like, I think that'd be me if something happened to you. I'd be like, oh no, what do I do? I don't have my manager.
Yeah. I think it's very funny. I, having been married now for over 2 years, I always think about one thing in particular is when my dad passed away. I was with my mom and we found out together. And I remember my mom, we were at the hospital just wailing. And she was like, my best friend is gone. My best friend is gone. And very haunting. Man, it was very, I hated that. But then again, at the time I was like, I wasn't married. Grace and I were dating. I'm like, this, it was very sad. But then also, having been married, I'm like, oh yeah, man, like, if that happens, you that's it. Like you're seriously your best friend, the person who, you sleep next to and you wake up with and you talk to, and all of a sudden, there's like, that's like no more. So there is, and then, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a huge loss. That's when people talk about losing a spouse, I'm like, oh yeah, that is huge. So even like the compliments or, condolences that you're like, I can't imagine what you're going. Yeah, you really can't. But yeah,
like when Nana died, Papa just started harassing strangers in Chick-fil-A, and I was like, he never did this before he died. I'd be like,
hey, what would he say? What would he say?
He went up to this couple and he was just like chatting with them, and he's like, you know what, y'all are like. He said something about them being siblings. Like he knew that they were on a date, and he's like, "Y'all are such a cute brother and sister." Oh. And he just makes people uncomfortable, and it's hilarious. But I feel like it's not hilarious for the people. But no. If you're watching it, it's very entertaining.
Do you remember the first time you and I went to your church, and your pastor called out a couple and said they were called them brother and sister, but it turned out they were dating?
Really?
Yeah.
That's always very weird because they say you are attracted to people who look similar to you.
Oh yeah, tell them about after she changed her hair color
back to my natural color.
People think
we went into the peddler.
So we thought y'all were twins.
Yeah, we went into the peddler, and the girl, one of the girls he works with, goes, "Is that the same girl?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And now he goes, "You have to change your hair color." He keeps telling me to change it again.
Why did you change? Oh, well, you were going for something, right?
Well, my mom wanted me to go back natural for my senior pictures.
What is natural? That's your natural hair?
Yeah. It's a little bit darker because his sister put a little bit of...
I can't. So do you have to do your eyebrows too?
No. This is my natural color. I haven't changed my eyebrows at all.
I can't keep up with white people hair, man. Like, I swear I cannot keep up. Like the natural hair and then the dyeing, and then you can't, if you over dye, you mess it up, and then
yeah,
it's just too much going on. And then white people be like, oh, my hair is greasy, but then I'm like, so it's not good. And they're like, no, it doesn't need to be greasy. And then black people, we put grease in our hair for it to be manageable.
Yeah,
it's just night and day, man. I really can't. I'm really and I'm married to a white person, and I'm really lost.
Yeah, Grace,
I don't know how to do it.
Grace is as white as we are, at least like our skin tone.
Yeah, and sometimes she'll be like, "Oh, how does my hair look?" And I'm like, "I 100% cannot tell, because I have zero frame of reference for what white hair is supposed to look like." But to this day,
we went. She was in the back of the peddler, and there was a guy who's made a comment about like you being my sister.
Yeah.
Right?
Didn't he have autism?
Yeah, or
Asperger's
he was like
or something. He went on like a whole rant about his condition, and then all of a sudden, when I walked in the kitchen, he goes, "Is that your brother?" And I said, "Boyfriend, actually."
And Petey was like, "Roll Tide."
What did he say? He's like, "Oh, y'all have the same hair color and skin complexion."
Oh, I honestly don't remember that.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
You're like, were y'all looking around like, yeah, are we on an episode of Love on the Spectrum right now?
We binged that.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all did? I haven't watched it yet. I've been watching too much 30 Rock, y'all. Better than The Office, JG, who's listening right now. No, yeah, that's just something about me.
Mm-hmm.
We've caught up. Lauren, we're having you over for dinner at our house, you and PD.
Yeah, and what are we gonna eat? Because I was wrong. I said Italian food, and here's why. She loves chicken Alfredo, like shrimp scampi. She loves going to Olive Garden. So I'm like, okay, she loves Italian food. No,
but then you mentioned that today, and she was like, I don't like Italian food. So what do you like?
I like a lot of vegetables and Chinese food.
Okay. That's we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll do half Chinese food, half Olive Garden. half Italian food. And then, I don't know. Maybe we'll have tacos. I don't know. We'll you can make
It honestly doesn't matter.
We'll mix it up. We'll mix it up.
It honestly doesn't matter because whenever I go to people's houses, I don't know if everyone else does this, but when I go to people's houses and I don't like their food, I'll just eat it and not say anything.
Yeah. That's
like,
the
yeah,
polite thing
this
to
is
do.
just great.
Yeah. I've had friends over. We have some couple friends over, and I have royally messed up. Like, I tried making fried rice one time, and guys, fun fact: when you make fried rice, you have to cook the rice, let it sit in the fridge overnight, and then
really?
you and then you fry it. So you cook it, like you boil it, you let it. You have to let it cool, sit in the fridge like overnight, preferably. And so that's why when you go to like Asian restaurants, they have like the freaking bowl of rice. Then they put that in the wok.
Oh.
And that's how they make that.
That's why you could. Okay.
Other than that,
cooks rice
I had
all
some
the
friends
time.
over, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm gonna make fried rice," and I legit took it from the stove into the pan, and I just made like cake. It wasn't even like rice. That junk was just like freaking like doughy. It was so bad. And it's my friend David Klinkenbroomer and his wife Christina, their little baby girl, and so they came over and I'm like struggling because I'm spinning it, and the more I'm spinning it, it's less like rice, and now it's like porridge. It is like hot porridge.
Wow.
And so every time they come over now, I'm always like, guys, fried rice? I can make some fried rice if you. They're like, no, stop it. But yeah, that's the them's the rules on fried rice.
I would eat so much rice that my grandma bought me a rice cooker, and then like a year later, I was like, you know what? That was the most useful gift I've ever gotten.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
Wow.
at the time, I hadn't met you yet when I said
Hey,
that.
can you cook rice in 20 minutes, or how fast does it cook
I
rice?
only cooked rice one time, and all I did was just boil it. It turned out like cream of wheat, and then I ate it anyway.
Hey, but I have a video that I saved 172 days ago that I meant to play on this
Sheesh.
podcast
Where
that I
did you
just
save
completely
it at?
forgot about.
Reddit?
And I'm gonna play it now.
Oh no.
It's off of the cringe page. It's a pastor.
The reason you lift your hand is because you already believe.
Can I see it?
You're saying, I believe. You know? And we're just giving you an opportunity to confess him before men. He sees you, a little guy in the back. Little guy, I'm not a midget, he's a child. I mean, I don't want anyone to think I was offending a midget.
Just a sigh at the end.
Play again. Can you play again?
I'm not offending a midget.
He sees you. I sees you in the back. Luke. Dude, that sigh is like, that came from the deepest part of his soul. Like, crap. Oh man, he's not saying little guy because I'm saying little guy because he's a.
Here we
Did he
go.
say a little person? What did he say?
The reason you lift your hand is because you already believe. You're saying, I believe. You know? And we've just given you an opportunity to confess him before men. He sees you, a little guy in the back. Little guy, I'm not a midget, he's a
But you didn't say midget. He didn't have to say the word midget. He said little guy, not a midget. You didn't say midget. So why are you saying it now? And then he makes it worse right here.
The reason you lift your hand is because you already believe. You're saying, I believe. You know, and we've just given you an opportunity to confess him before men. He sees you.
He said, I wouldn't want anyone to think that I was offended. Hey, but you know what? This guy might not try to offend midgets. Offended. It's like, oh shoot! Now
I want to play it one more time.
You lift your hand is because you already believe. You're saying, I believe.
dude, the
You know, and
guitars are
we've just given you
perfect
an
too.
opportunity to confess him before men. He sees you, a little guy in the back. Little guy, I'm not a midget.
He said, I'm not a midget.
So,
He's a child. He's not a child.
Wait a second. So was it a little person or not?
I mean, they never panned over. So. But I think he said little guy, and he maybe thought it was a child, and then he just scrambles. And yeah.
There is nothing like I've preached a lot. There's nothing like messing up. And then there's nothing like messing up towards the end, because there's this thing they call it like recency bias. So like you're biased to the most recent thing that happened. So if like you end on a bad note, guess what all people remember? The freaking when you were like trying to dig yourself out of the little person, not a little person child hole at the end. And you're like so freaking lost. Man, that's so funny. Lauren, don't look at the clock. We're having a good time. Listen, you're not going to be late, Lauren. People who are listening at home. We're going to read some emails. I think we have a few more emails. Got a lot of unread emails, but I'll check those out later.
Sorry, PD just likes to cut it close a lot, so I'm being a good influence.
Hey. Cool. I'll read the first one here, and then we'll go from there. Ooh, dead air on the podcast. Sorry, guys. Ooh, dead air. Ooh. All right, I read that one. We read that one. Make it worse. Okay, this is from Megan Hendrickson. The subject says, "Oh, sweet mama."
I see her comment a lot.
Dash a church story. Hey, Megan Hendrickson. It could have been Hendrix, but you have a Hendrickson on your last name. Very interesting. Thanks for commenting and keeping up with us, and also emailing. Hey, live PD and ShamWow. Hey, that was a good one. Good one. And Lauren too. Lauren's on the show, guys. I have a couple of church stories, as I've grown up in Church of God / Pentecostal Church, in a Church of God / Pentecostal Church, and have attended multiple camps, lock-ins, church events, etc. Those are the 5 infinity stones of church events. Camps, lock-ins, church events, potlucks. That's 4. Sorry. Before I share, I have to say thank you on behalf of my sister and I for your podcast and everything y'all create. It is so relatable, wholesome, and just hilarious content to listen to. Yeah, what did you say?
So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Megan, and Megan's Sister Hendrickson.
Sister Henderson.
Sister Hendrickson. I was homeschooled my entire life, and my sister is still currently homeschooled, so we really relate to you guys on that level as well. So many levels. My sister Elizabeth. My phone's glitching. No, come on, iPhone 6 Plus. My sister Elizabeth found out about your podcast through a youth pastor. Sorry, guys. Youth pastor in March, and she absolutely loves your show. She has listened to literally every single episode. That's a huge accomplishment. And in May, she was caught up with them. Dang, May. She caught up in May, and she's been listening. Wow. Okay. And is a faithful listener still each week. She told me about church stories, and ever since your episodes are definitely the source of a lot of laughter that we share each week. And conversations / memories that leave us cracking up. There are so many stories and situations that I could share, but for me personally, there's really one that stands above the rest.
iPhone 6 Plus, come on.
Dude, my phone's been glitching and I hate it.
Really?
The year was 2013. I was 14 years old in my youth group. This particular Wednesday night, instead of a regular service, they had planned to do a comedy night. I don't know about that, which was going to be a fun night for everyone that attended youth, as well as a way to get friends to come to church. Original plans for the comedy night was to have a comedian there, and last minute those plans fell through. What happens if you're supposed to have a comedian come to your church and they don't show up? Like, do you just have anybody? Because I feel like this was about to happen next.
Play Tim Hawkins videos.
Do you?
I don't know.
Or do you just get like, you're like, oh, the youth pastor's kind of funny. Hold on, let me get freaking Jimmy up there. So our youth pastor, here we go. And our youth pastor and youth staff had to come up with impromptu things to do.
No.
Which has still turned out amazing and hilarious. But the story really begins with my first activity that happened that night. My youth pastor, why do I keep on saying youth pastor? New teeth, guys. I'll talk about that later. That's my praise report. My youth pastor asked who was a roller coaster enthusiast in the room. Well, obviously being one, not 1 year old, but one like a roller coaster enthusiast. I shot my hand up, eager to be picked for something. I was one of the 3 people chosen and the only girl. The 3 of us were then asked to leave the youth room and go into the gym, where we could not hear what was going on inside of the youth room. The 3 of us were then asked to leave we were all awkwardly excited about but also nervous for what was about to happen next. We had no idea. Once outside the room, our youth pastor's wife and few other staff members told us what was going to happen. Basically, each of us would go in one at a time. We would have to sit in a chair facing the audience and give our best riding a roller coaster impression for 20 seconds. Okay, that's it. We could do whatever we wanted to within those 20 seconds. We just couldn't come out of the seat. We had to act like we were strapped in a roller coaster and doing the best impression that we could of it. Whoever was the most enthusiastic, expressive, most enthusiastic, expressive, or won the audience over would be crowned the winner. I love roller coasters, but when I'm on a roller coaster, I'm mostly quiet. Why? Why would you be quiet? I'll raise my arms, just enjoying the ride. But I knew in this moment that I had to be overly expressive and act enthusiastic.
This has happened to me at church before, where you have to do that in front of the group, and the
This is a
group
common
actually
game?
has no idea what you're doing. So they just think you're sitting in the chair being stupid.
Oh.
Yes, I got picked to do that once.
Oh, this is the actual thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So is the joke on them watching you?
Yes. So they take a few people out. They tell you to do that, and then you go back in and you do it, and the group has absolutely no idea what you're doing. You're just sitting in a chair screaming and freaking out. Yeah.
And then they're like, ha 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 ha.
And then they tell you at the end what they were doing. Yeah.
Oh. God, man, youth group games get weirder and weirder. Okay. So, I really wanted to win this thing. So the first contestant goes in, and we watch through the little door window. That's a church building thing, the little door window. So we watch this little, and he's just acting out usually what they ask for you to do to get on the roller coaster. Buckle in, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. He's doing that. A few chuckles came from the room, but we still didn't really know what everyone was liking. I was second. I go in and sit down. My youth pastor tells me that I have 20 seconds to be enthusiastic and to win the crowd with the best roller coaster impression. As I'm sitting there and he's talking to me, I don't know why, but this phrase comes into my head that I should scream when the time starts. He says, you have 20 seconds and go. And after he says go, I act like I'm already on the roller coaster and going down on a big drop. So I scream the phrase I just thought of, "Oh, sweet mama," at the top of my lungs. And immediate laughter erupted from my fellow youth, some falling out of their chairs. I continue to flail my arms all around, screaming, holding onto the chair like it's my roller coaster seat, flailing my arms and legs, and at some point in time, referring to a giant drop. In the ride, I screamed, "Oh, it's a big one!" while looking while looking down. The whole room erupted again. From the moment I started, and even after the 20 seconds were up, people were laughing, crying, and moving all around in their chairs. When my time was up,
I am killing.
Yeah, she's like, man, I'm doing the best. Okay. Laughing, crying, moving all around their chairs. This was basically like Def Jam comedy. This is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
When my time was up, I remember standing up from my seat. My youth group gave me a big old high five. Very youth group thing to do. Like, a youth pastor, they're like, "Come here, how you doing? How you doing, Jessica, Bethany? Good to see you guys. Good to see how's school going." I did that all the time. I just sat down waiting for the third contestant. The third contestant did a roller coaster impression, like how I would be in real life on a roller coaster, just chilling out, putting his hands up, enjoying the ride. He gets a few laughs. Guys, my phone is actually like bugging right now. This is embarrassing. Just chilling out, putting his hands up. He gets a few laughs. Afterwards, us three are all looking at each other like, what's the catch? And then our youth pastor drops the bomb. He says, "We told you three that you were riding a roller coaster, but in reality, the rest of the youth group knew that you three were actually sitting on a toilet, impersonating how you would act on the toilet."
Oh, it's a big one. Oh, sweet mama.
The other guy, very calm guy, was kind of like, man, they're like, man, that's this dude's
Wow.
this dude's
Yeah, that's what they
method
did
acting.
after. That's what they did after we did it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Where do they come up with these games, man? Immediately, we all put our hands in our heads in our hands and just started laughing. Everyone is laughing so hard. Then at that moment in time, I realized that I just said, "Oh, sweet mom," at the top of my lungs, and oh, it's a big one, thinking I'm on a roller coaster. But in reality, I was on a toilet in front of my peers. That's why all the laughter from the room. The third contestant that was just chill on the toilet, they referred to him as the silent pooper, in quotations. The judge
Sounds like the worst superhero movie.
9.9. Yeah, the silent pooper. The judging begins, and let's just say I won. In a competition you didn't even know you're competing. My youth pastor puts his hand over each of us and screams for me, and the screams for me were just completely overwhelming. And so, being the only girl in this competition, man, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry, Megan. I was crowned the winner of the best toilet roller coaster impression. That night, I was awarded a book. Which is also a very youth group prize to win from a table of used books. Never mind. I'm sorry. But, once again, on brand. But even more so, I had this memory that would last with me forever. Now, 7 years later, I am so completely grateful for my dear friend Richana for videotaping this moment. Every year when it pops up on the anniversary on Facebook, I crack up laughing.
Where's the link?
Hey, yeah, Megan, where's it at? Oh, she
included it?
Yeah, she
All
included
right,
it.
Good.
Every year when it pops on the anniversary on Facebook, I crack up laughing. And this is a memory that still so many of my dear friends from youth talk about to this day. Even my old youth pastor. It's his favorite memory when he thinks of me. I've attached this video for your viewing pleasure. There's a lot more memories I can think of, but that one trumps the rest.
Wow.
Then the link to the video. Thank you both for your time, and many thanks for what you guys are doing. Keep creating, and God bless. Sincerely, Megan Hendrickson. Okay, I'm going to text it to you, PD, so you could... Do you have the emails on your phone?
No, don't. And... I got a text from my manager asking if we can wrap this up soon.
Oh, yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. We'll play the video later. Do you got a praise report, Lauren?
I hopefully am going to be on time to work.
You work 2 minutes down the road. What's your praise report, PD?
My praise report is I got my laptop today.
Yes.
Yeah. And
you're back. You're back in the producing.
I'm about to cheat on church stories.
Ooh.
With Kyle.
Oh, yeah. You're about to start another podcast.
As soon as you said cheat.
His relationship just got the umbrella got a little bigger. My praise report is my dentist, Glenda, has been doing a number on my teeth. And they're looking good, and it's cost me too much money, and it's not over.
Glenda?
Splenda.
If you're listening to this... that's my praise report. Lauren, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for rushing us too. We almost enjoyed a very fine video
that we'll
play it after. We'll play it after this. Your praise report said you get to work on time.
Yeah.
Get out. I'm just kidding. Hey guys, this has been Church Stories Podcast,
and you've been awesome.
And I swear I'm gonna get a new phone. I'm just kidding, guys. iPhone 8 Plus might never upgrade. You heard the song.
This is Church Stories, and it's a big one.
It's a big one. Oh, sweet mama. This is going to be called the one about sweet mama.
Sure.
All right. See ya.
Joshua just rode a roller coaster, and whoever rides this roller coaster shows up the greatest roller coaster enthusiasts, and they have the coolest style in every way. They're going to win the grand prize. So you got 20 seconds to show us what you got when you ride this roller coaster. Ready? Ready? 20 seconds.